All right, are we good? Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat Live. Today we bring you coverage of the WSL as we kick off with the 12 o'clock kickoffs. We've got 3 games kicking off at 12 o'clock today. The game that we'll be focusing on though is Liverpool versus Brighton. It's going to be an interesting one. Last season these were 2 sides, or 2 seasons ago these were 2 sides that were competing in the top half. This season, though, while Brighton are in the top half, Liverpool sit on 0 points near the bottom of the table, 11th in the table. But if it wasn't for West Ham, they would be last, Harry. So, important day for Liverpool because when are they going to start getting points? That's the big question.
Yeah, it's massive. I think it's massive for both sides, but especially for Liverpool. The longer the run goes on, the more difficult it will get to put a point on the board. So, again, a home game against the Brighton side who currently sit 8th. They've lost their last 3 games in the league. So there's an opportunity, you feel, for Liverpool. They've been getting better and better in recent weeks. And you get the feeling that first point isn't too far away. So maybe today could be the day against the Brighton side that have been very hit and miss this season. So it'll be interesting to see what Liverpool can do, whether they can deliver another good performance, another performance that is worthy of picking up a point. But yeah, I think it'll be a really good game. I definitely think Liverpool will turn up here and make Brighton work for it. It's just whether they can finally make it happen. You can get stuck in a rut. You can get stuck on a really bad run and heads start dropping and suddenly you go into every game and you find yourself 1-0 down before you've already kicked off, really. So Liverpool have got to hang in there. They've got to make sure that the camp and that the squad are all together and are still pulling in the same direction, which they look to be. It was the closest they got to a point last weekend against Tottenham, so they've got to build on that today and look to go at a Brighton side who, although it has been a difficult run of fixtures for them in the last 3, have lost their last 3. So I think there's an opportunity for Liverpool to try and get something out of this game, although we know how good Brighton are.
Well, I was going to say, weirdly, it feels to me like this is the kind of game Liverpool could win. As good as Brighton look in certain matches, they have a tendency, Brighton, to really take the game to the big sides and nick results. And that hasn't happened in the last few weeks, but they did have those performances. But they have that real tendency, but they've also got a tendency to drop points in really stupid games. And this feels like it could be one of those. It's not a full-strength Brighton side. They've got a lot of injuries at the moment. I just think this is potential opportunity, really, for Liverpool to take advantage. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Nigel says, don't see Liverpool winning this. Fair enough. Completely disregarding our thoughts there. But welcome, Nigel. Emily going with 2-1. Liverpool getting an early prediction in there. Fair enough, Emily. Got to be optimistic. Good to have a Liverpool fan in chat. YouTube asking, why don't we do London City Tottenham? Simply because it is on YouTube in the UK, so we cover whichever game is free to air. Don't get me wrong, I think London City Tottenham will be a better game of football. I think they're both two very good sides in decent form. I think that'll be a good game of football. I think West Ham Leicester's going to be a very tight match. We will be keeping tabs across those 2 games. This one probably the least exciting of the 3, but I still think it's going to be an interesting game of football. I enjoy watching Brighton play. I think Liverpool got a lot to prove as well, so maybe it will surprise us and this will be a very good game of football. You never know. Lucky says, will you guys be doing a Champions League watch-along midweek? Yes, we'll be live for all 4 games of the Champions League this midweek on Tuesday. Unfortunately, Harry is deserting me once again, so I'll be here for a double header. So if you do fancy sticking around until 10 o'clock on Tuesday to see me just asleep on the show, then feel free to watch us. But then we will be back. Harry will be back on Wednesday for the double header. Let's get into the lineups for today's game then, and we'll start with the hosts, Liverpool. It is a 4-2-3-1 for the Reds. In goal, Faye Kirby keeps her place from the side who started last week. In the back 4, it's the same again with Shimizu, Fisk, Clark and Woodham. In the pivot, well, there's no Herbinger, but it is Nagano and Kerr. And then on one wing, it's Holland. I think Holland must be in the centre. On one wing, Kapox. On the other, Enderby. And leading the line, it will be Beta Olsen. That front three's been quite fluid this season. Kapox has been in the goals. Olsen got her first goal last week. Is that a really positive sign now that Liverpool perhaps have a route to goal? And when is Enderby going to step up?
Yeah, it's been much better in recent weeks. As you say, there's a bit of promise. When they come forwards, they actually look like they're going to score. They look like they're going to cause problems for oppositions. And I've been mightily impressed with Kapox this season. It was really good to see Olsen get involved in the goals last week and get one against Tottenham. And now she's off the mark. Can she now put together a bit of a run of good form and start to hit the back of the net a bit more consistently? As you say, now it's time for Enderby to shine. I'm glad to see that she's all right and back in the starting 11 for this game. But she needs to start delivering. It's as simple as that. Still a very, very young player, which I think is it's something that always has to be remembered with Enderby is because she burst on. It feels like she's been around for a couple of years, and she's quite experienced. But that's only because she came on the scene so early. Still a very young player, but I do agree. I think that if she now needs to start putting up her side of that front three. Kapox is delivering. Olsen's getting there. If Enderby can link it up as well, that is going to be a very, very strong front three. So it all together, it looks more promising for Liverpool. They look dangerous when they come forwards, and they are, showing this season that when sides do make errors, they can pounce them and they can find the back of the net. So it has been better in recent weeks. I think the big test of Liverpool today will be defensively to see what they can do. Can they be solid? Can Faye Kirby put in a solid performance? It's going to be intriguing to see how that back four operates, but I think in the forward line they're getting there. If Olsen and Potts can start sharing the load and Enderby gets involved, then they're going to be deadly coming forwards. It's just about what they can do defensively now, and to stop conceding as many goals as they have been.
It's funny because I'd say based on the merit of their performances, Liverpool feel significantly closer to that first point than West Ham do. Because I think looking at the way Liverpool play, they have not really been on the end of too many drubbings. They have been, I think it's now 4 or 5 one-goal losses, and those could easily be draws or maybe even a win on a different day. So I don't think they've played too bad. I think they've been, remarkably unlucky this season. Yet, despite that fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we're sat here this evening or, after today's games and Liverpool are yet to score a point and West Ham taken 3. Because I just think there is that opportunity that Leicester aren't quite on it and West Ham do find something. But West Ham still haven't scored a goal from open play yet this season. They're still terrible defensively. And I don't really see that changing, but maybe they'll nick something today. I think for Liverpool, this is an opportunity. As I say, I don't think Brighton are perfect at the moment. I think they are a good side, but I think this is an opportunity that Liverpool, if they get it right today, if they play the way they have in the last few weeks, could definitely nick something. So I think they've got to believe in that regard. As for the visitors, then it is also a 4-2-3-1, though we know there's a lot of fluidity for Brighton. I also wouldn't be surprised to see this be a 3-back, but we'll assume it's a 4-back for now. In goal, Chiamaka Enodosic has been a breath of fresh air in that Brighton back line. In the back four, Rule, Hayes, Minami and Olis Lagers. In the pivot, it's Kankovic alongside Maisie Simmons. Then on one side, McLaughlin, on the other, Seke, Kirby in the 10, and Carla Camacho leads the line. Now, I wouldn't be massively surprised if this Brighton team actually looked a little bit different and it was McLaughlin as a right wing-back and they actually played a 3-back today. But assuming based on the Arsenal game where McLaughlin did play on that left wing, that she will start there again today, what do you think of this Brighton side?
Yeah, it's a tough one for Brighton. As I say, they haven't been in good form, and you mentioned the injuries at the top of the show. They are struggling to kind of fit everybody in. It's a little bit makeshift in certain areas. McLaughlin playing on the wing is not an ideal situation for anybody involved, but it's a little bit through necessity. It's a bit
of a choice though, because Kafaji is on the bench. She just hasn't been performing.
That is true. So it makes for an interesting decision there from Vidosic, and that one does surprise me a little bit because although Kafaji hasn't really delivered, I still think she's a very dangerous player. But it's one of those where I think, as a manager, when last season they had such a good start and then a terrible end. This season has been very difficult. They started okay and now they've gone and lost 3 out of 3. So they're under a little bit of pressure here because Vidosic knows they lose today, then they're in a little bit of trouble because they are sat 8th in the league, and if they lose to a side in Liverpool who haven't got a point yet after 6 games, then I think that raises a lot of questions about where Brighton actually are right now. So I think Brighton will be feeling it a little bit today. And again, where do the goals come from? Who is going to put the ball in the back of the net for Brighton? I still look at that team, and I think that with Adjumang out now, obviously Kirby can. We saw it last week. If you can get the ball to Kirby and Seke, they look absolutely fine. But players like Camacho, players like Gafaji were missing too many chances. So for me, it really depends who they can get in the right areas, because they can get the ball to Fran Kirby in the 18-yard box or get Kiko Seke for on goal, then I won't be surprised if they find the back of the net. But if you're going to keep seeing other players miss chances, Liverpool are the tighter side who can punish that. So Brighton have got to be careful today that they get the right players on the ball in the right areas, and defensively they cannot afford to make any errors. They cost themselves too often of just making errors out the back, and they've been better at it this season, but there's still been a couple. They just need to make sure that they steady the ship and don't give the ball away in a very dangerous area.
Yeah, I wonder if the three back for that reason may just give them a little bit more solidity, because I think with so many rotations, positional rotations, it is quite difficult when you don't have those world-class players at resisting the press. I mean, to be fair, even Chelsea struggled with it yesterday in terms of that build-up structure, but it can be difficult then to play out of an aggressive press. Now, whether Liverpool will press aggressively is another matter, because it hasn't always been incredible pressing from Liverpool this season, but yeah, if they can put Brighton under pressure, that is a route to goal. I think the big player for me that I want to mention from Brighton is Carla Camacho. Big opportunity with Michelle Adjemang out injured. She's got to step up and start firing quickly. I think she looked lively in the United game, albeit lacked that end product. And if she can start getting shots away at goal, she can start putting, especially with a goalkeeper in this Liverpool net in Faye Kirby, who I think has made so many high-profile errors this season. This is the perfect chance for Brighton to get Carla Camacho that goal. And actually, for a lot of those Brighton attackers who haven't perhaps been in the goals this season, it's a chance for them to get in and amongst the goals. Ryson says, I want a super Fran goal. I think we all want a super Fran goal today. And yeah, Brighton will lean heavily on Fran Kirby. She's sort of the experienced player in quite a youthful side for Brighton. I know, of course, they've got players like Helena Kankovic in there, who is 30. They've got McLaughlin, but she's not a left winger, so she's playing out of position today. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. But, you know, Fran Kirby is that experience amongst what is quite a young, quite youthful Brighton team.
Yeah, she's massively important. I thought when they initially signed her, she was an incredible pick-up. The fact she's still delivering is brilliant. But as you said, I think she's very key to, you know, not only her own performances, but everyone else's. And she even did it at Chelsea. When Fran Kirby played well, everyone else played well. And it's the same with this Brighton side. If Kirby is on the ball and keeping things ticking over, then the other attackers, the other forwards are bound to get opportunities. They're bound to get goals, because that's the kind of player that Fran Kirby is. She's very, very dangerous. But I see a lot of similarities between these two sides. I think they're two sides that have very, very good managers that are, you know, in need of, and their performances and results based on what the individuals are doing. If their players are playing well because of the managers they've got, it works brilliantly. But if their players don't perform, then it falls apart. I think they're two sides that have got brilliant tactical setups, but in certain areas are just lacking the individual quality. Obviously, I think Liverpool are lacking a little bit more quality than Brighton.
I'd say Brighton have got better fits, albeit not perfect, and especially not with the amount of injuries they've got at the moment. But yeah, I do broadly agree. I think they're both very idealist, very dogmatic in their approaches.
Yeah.
Though I think Vidosic has been quite pragmatic at times. In that United game, he changed the system arguably too much, because it just kept changing. But it did make life really difficult for Manchester United. So, yeah, that was interesting. HP, thanks for updating us on life in the Liga Ref. And on this week's episode of The Liga Ref is Pointless, Barcelona lead Deportivo La Coruña 8-0 at half-time.
At half-time?
At half-time.
It just doesn't make it, because obviously
this is the thing. You know, we always talk about why English clubs don't just win the Champions League. And every time I say this point, people disagree. But it's so difficult to compete when you've got to, when you're in the WSL, because you've got to be on it every week. So we're going to Champions League games this week, right? And Barcelona's second side has stuck 8 past Deportivo La Coruña. And then Chelsea had to play Arsenal.
Yeah.
And they're both expected to get... Now, I know Chelsea have got quite a comfortable fixture this week of SK and St Paulton, but still, that has an impact. And to be fair, across the league, there is quality. You know, I think other than West Ham this season, every side's going to give you a good game.
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, 8-0. 8-0 against a side... They're not even bottom, Deportivo La Coruña.
But it just surprised me, because they only lost 1-0 They lost 1-0 last week to Sociedad.
Yeah.
So it's a really weird... It's a league that just makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, there has started to be more investment in the likes of Atleti and the likes of Real and the likes of Sociedad, but yeah, still nowhere near Barcelona. Shell, welcome to the stream. I think it's a Brighton win. We'll probably get a hiding from City after. I hope not, Shell. I think everyone is Everton today, especially if you're a Chelsea fan, or to be fair, even United and Arsenal fans are probably hoping that City slip up. So, yeah, I'm hoping Everton get their act together, but I'm not confident.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Again, I think we've got some massive games. A lot of them are very hard to predict. But yeah, I think it's been a big weekend so far, and I think again this is another really big day of WSL action at both ends of the table.
Yeah, indeed. Well, as you say that word predict, it reminds me. Let's get into predictions. If you're watching along, get involved in the live chat. Let us know your scoreline prediction, and we'll start things off here in the studio. Harry, what is your prediction for Liverpool versus Brighton?
I'm going to say Liverpool to get their first point. I don't think they're going to win, but I think they'll get their first point. I will say Brighton 2, Liverpool 2, and I will go for Brighton goals from Kirby and Camacho, and Liverpool goals from Capox, and I'll go rogue one from Grace Fisk.
Fair enough. That is a rogue one. I think it's going to be 3-0, and I don't know which way.
Wow.
But I'm going to say 3-0 Brighton, goals from Kirby, Camacho, and Kankovic, because they all start with like a good sound. It's Brighton to get us started. Camacho from the middle, waiting for the referee's whistle to kick off this WSL Sunday. Knocks it back 2-7, and we're underway here in Liverpool. It's Liverpool versus Brighton in Matchweek 8 of the WSL season, live from the St Helens Stadium. Immediately there, love that pressure from Liverpool. They know how Brighton like to build up. Their left back's always going to push high, so if you press them aggressively, you can win that ball back, and as they have done here, and now they are looking to move it up the pitch. Woodham. Back now to Fisk. Good to see her back at centre-half, Grace Fisk, with Risa Shimizu coming into the side.
Yeah, it's great to see, the new signings starting to be embedded. It'd be nice to maybe see a bit more Shimchak. I think that Shimizu coming in and putting Great Fisk back to centre-half was a lot better last week for Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. I do find the only thing I find weird about the Shimchak, because I've seen a lot of people complaining about it, the only thing I find weird is that she didn't play the League Cup game. I think other than that, it's perfectly reasonable that a player who hasn't played a load of senior football hasn't been given an opportunity yet. Liverpool are not comfortable. They've got to play players they know they can trust. And I don't think Shimchak is that right now. So, yeah, I do understand that from Gareth Taylor. Quite interesting as well, Capox in the 10 today for Liverpool, with Holland on the right-hand side. What do you think is the rationale there? Probably she can pick the ball up here. Poor pass from Dozy should have taken better advantage. Brilliant turnover from Holland. One back well, though, by Hayes. And all a little bit messy there from Brighton. Again, playing out from the back.
Yeah, again, I said it. They've got to be careful. They don't give the ball away in dangerous areas. And we see it already. They're trying to give it to Liverpool in their own third. They've got to be better than that, Brighton, on the ball. Got to be better. Got to be more safe with it. Try and play out. Try and resist the press, but don't give it away to the opposition.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's necessarily being more safe with it. They've just got to get the passes right. Yeah. Here is Holland. Can she find delivery? No, back ball's going to drop her Enderby now, and she couldn't quite do anything with it. Was there a foul in there from Rule? It's deemed not so by the referee. Harry, what were your thoughts on that one?
I think she's all right. Enderby's gone for the ball and she's got that, and then Rule's just challenging for it. But
Enderby's got to do better then.
Yeah, it's a fast start. It's a good start from what's happened? I'm not sure what's going on here. Why is it Dozy taking?
I think the ball's flat.
Oh right, I was going to say. I thought she was taking the goal kick from off the pitch. But yeah, again, dangerous start from Liverpool. It's a good ball in, and Enderby's again. It's what we think we've seen with Enderby quite a lot. Since she joined Liverpool, and in the senior side, is that. The movement's brilliant. She makes the right run. She gets the wrong side of the defender, but she just can't put the ball in the back of the net, can't make good contact with it. Her movement and her timing, I think, is absolutely brilliant, which is rare to see in a young player. Usually they've got a brilliant finish, but can't, the other aspects are wrong, but she's got the movement, just lacks the finish.
It's the understanding. She lacks the confidence, I think, it's the big thing. And we have got an opening goal in the game between London City Lionesses and Tottenham. It's the 7th minute there, and it's Freya Godfrey who's found the target, her first goal in the Women's Super League. Important moment for her. Thank you, Ryzen, as well, for letting us know in the live chat. And Phil, welcome to the stream as well. Sorry I forgot to welcome you earlier, but Phil was predicting a Liverpool win. And just asked there, was that not a foul on Enderby? Looked clumsy.
I think she was all right. I think they both just went for the ball. No one seemed to complain about it.
No. Hayes. Drills out now to the right-hand side. Brilliant touch by Seiko. Looks to burst away from Woodham. And she does really well there. Can she cut it across the box? She can, but Kirby's out well. Good goalkeeping there from the Liverpool shot stop.
Yeah, exactly what Kirby needs to settle in and just get a couple of claims under her belt. Interesting choice by Gareth Taylor to opt to start her through choice as well. But yeah, does well there, gets out, claims it comfortably, doesn't spill it.
My only rationale behind Kirby starting again is that something's happened in the Borgraf case, because she was being investigated by the FA. Either something's happened or something's happened in the camp, but I can't see any merit based on performances that Borgraf has dropped.
Exactly, but then if there's anything off the pitch, then Borgraf wouldn't be on the bench. It stuns me. I really don't understand it, but maybe Taylor just believes in Kirby.
Yeah, and Rachel Laws, I mean, what, 3 goalkeepers now? Surely she'll be looking to get a move away if she's not going to get an opportunity, especially over Faye Kirby.
I mean, all 3 of them in the matchday squad today. It's ridiculous, but yeah, I think it's one of those where...
Reverse of last season, they're going to start putting goalkeepers outfield now because they've got so many of them.
Yeah.
Nagano. Back now to Shimizu. Holland down the line looking for Cornelia Capox. He'll cut inside runs. A lot of space to use here. Lovely movement from Capox. Back now to Nagano. Fisk. Out to left-hand side. Here's Woodham. Now Enderby. Nice pass down the line into the run of Kerr. Can they get a ball into the box? Good defending from Caitlin Hayes. Is strong and physical and knocks it up the line.
Good start for Liverpool. They've settled. They actually look really comfortable in possession. We saw parts of it against Tottenham last weekend, but already in this game just settled down. It's incredible the difference that having Fisk at centre half and Shimizu at right back can make, rather than having someone like Evans or something like that. Not sure how that's a foul though. As I'm praising Grace Fish, she gave the ball away, and then Woodham has just come in and taken Seike out.
Great ball out to the right hand side though by Nagano, and Liverpool look to profit from this situation. Holland now driving forwards, tries to shift it across. They're going to drop in there, looking for Enderby, but it's good defending from Hayes again to get across. Yeah, a bit clumsy there from Lily Woodham. Not sure how the referee's not given that.
But this is what we expected from Liverpool when Gareth Taylor first came in. For them to be on the ball, to look comfortable, to be a possession-based side that are going to get on the ball and try and come at opposition. And this 6 minutes is what I expected to see for the whole season. Obviously, I know it takes time to bed in and things, and they've certainly had their problems. But they're, again, just from these little snippets, you can tell that they are starting to get there. They really are.
Yeah, no, I think there should be a lot of faith in Gareth Taylor. I still think it's going to come good. I think they've got to give him the opportunity. Also, the amount of money they paid, apparently, to get him out of that Man City contract, they kind of need to give him time.
Yeah, true.
Here is Enderby. Looks to cut inside. Back now to Kerr. And that is poked away. Let's go drop now for Rule. That's a good block from Enderby out for a Brighton throw. Emery says, I feel like when we keep losing and riddled with injuries, let's take a chance on young talent. Barca have just signed a long-term contract with us. She must be good if they see something. Absolutely, but yes, there can young talent is definitely important to bed in, but I think when you've got a side who haven't picked up loads of points, experience is almost more valuable than that talent is, because you need that experience, you need that know-how to a certain extent. I do agree that, maybe relying on you can rely on young players to a certain extent. Look at how young players are coming into the league this season and looking really sharp. Players like Katie Reid have adapted immediately. But it's difficult for a manager to take a risk on a bit of an unknown when it's easier to rely on players that are known quantities.
Yeah, and it also depends who you've got available. I 100% agree. I think Shimchak should have been given a go when we were watching Bonner, Clark and Evans get completely torn apart. But now you've got this back four with Woodham, with Shimizu, with Grace Fisk in the middle. I think it looks a lot more settled. I think it definitely is you got, because is Shimchak better than will she look more comfortable than Bonner and Evans? Probably, potentially. But I think the back four today looks really settled, looks comfortable.
Yeah, no, it's been all right so far. I still have doubts over Clark every now and then, but today she hasn't looked bad so far. She's
really hit it, but sometimes she has a brilliant game. The Man United game at Anfield last season, where she went on a 30-yard run to assist one of the goals and things like that. Sometimes she can play really well.
But then City this season, where Viviana Miedemar just walked away from her into loads of space. Gankovic misplaced pass. Minami won't get there, but Enadozi will. Here is Olis Lagers. Now, Toxic Fairy Dust asking where to watch the game. It is on Sky Sports Main Event in the UK. If you're outside the UK, I believe it is on YouTube in some countries. Hayes. Into Kirby. Hayes. That's the right-hand side. Here's Seike. Gankovic. Pass inside to Simmons. Glides past one. Knocks it down the line. Seike or bust her gut to get there. And there is an offside flag up. And Seike apparently has gone too early.
Yeah, she'll be frustrated by that because it was really well worked by Brighton. And again, this is A, what Brighton can do really well, and B, where problems can come for Liverpool, because
I'd like to have seen a replay there because I wasn't 100% on that one.
Yeah, it might have been a tight one, but the way there, Simmons gliding past defenders, Clark steps up and gets nowhere near it. It's just one of those where Liverpool just got to be careful, and that's what Brighton can do. And again, we saw it happen with Gareth Taylor and his Man City side, how they could look so comfortable in a game, get on the ball, dominate possession, really enjoy the game, and then bam, that they lose it, get counted on once, and they concede, and they're out of it. So Liverpool doing well, they've settled, but now they've got to start to try and look to do something with the ball and make sure that Brighton don't come back and bite them. Because we know the quality Brighton have got. If they get the ball down and play it quickly through the lines, Liverpool could find themselves in a bit of trouble.
Hayes, Minami. Now Rule. Passing Olaslagers back to Minami. Hayes. Out to the right-hand side is Seiko. Simmons, lovely pass into the channel. Kirby won't get there though. Good defending from Fisk. And it's cleared away well by Faye Kirby. Enderby now running out of room. And that's out for a Liverpool throw as it comes off Seiko. I really enjoy Brighton, what they're doing today. And again, it's completely different. They change everything. They change how they're going to build up. They change how they're playing every week. But this time, Olaslagers is tucking into the back three. And Rule is pushing up into midfield. And it makes sense because they've got McLaughlin, who's going to hold the width on the left. They've got Seiko, who's going to hold the width on the right. So Olaslagers can't really overlap. So instead, they're pushing Rule into midfield. And then that is pushing Kankovic on a little bit more to join Kirby in those sort of that attacking midfield position. But it's interesting. Again, it's just something different from Brighton every week. Kirby out to the left-hand side. Good hold up from Holland. Olaslagers on her back. Brilliant from Holland. Now she can look to release it in behind. She'll knock it down the right-hand side. Fox will be hard-pressed to get there, and it's one back by Minami. And Adozi. Now Mweka Minami. McLaughlin. Into Kankovic. McLaughlin. They're running out of room here. Now Rule. Heads on. Nice play from Brighton. One high here. By Woodham, though immediately given away. And here's Carla Camacho driving the ball forwards. And a sea of lilac now rushes forward for Brighton. Olaslagers. Into Camacho. Now McLaughlin. Olaslagers, Camacho, let's fly! Not a bad effort. Good stop there from Faye Kirby. Confident goalkeeping and caught it as well.
And that's exactly what Brighton can do to move the ball quickly. And it's really well worked. Good football from Camacho. Gives it and goes. Plays it really nicely. There's two moments in there where she received it, gave it back again and moved. Really good stuff on the turn. Does well to get the shot away before Clark can close her down. It wasn't a bad effort at all. And Kirby does well to stand strong and claim that.
Nagane, lovely forward pass into Parks out now to the right-hand side. And here is Kerry Holland. Squeeze the ball forwards. It's cleared away well by Minami.
This game's got life in it. It really does. Because I think you've got two sides that both need a win, who are both pretty decent coming forwards.
Neither could defend.
Yeah, and both have been a bit shaky at the back this season. So
all build up.
Yeah.
It's just a brilliant watch. Real recipe for good attacking football. If Liverpool could start firing, this will be a brilliant game. And Camacho, because I think that's the problem with both these sides. Yeah. They create loads of good chances, but Brighton are missing Adjamang and Liverpool are missing Roman Haugen and Olivia Smith. So neither side really has the forward firepower to finish off the chances. But yeah, this is going to be a really good opportunity for Camacho, for an Enderby, to get into the game and get a goal. Woodham, Enderby. Tidy pass to Carrick, tries to do the give and go, but Rule has wiped her out.
Yeah, again though, they're the parts of Enderby's game that are brilliant. Drops in, receives the ball, flicks it round the corner and looks to spin again. And if she doesn't get taken out, she'd have received it. It's really good from Enderby. I think she's such a talent. I just hope that she can just become a little bit more polished and become a little bit stronger in front of goal. Yeah,
I think that, there's two aspects to her finishing. This is a good chance of Liverpool there. As Brighton again couldn't deal with it at the back, still bouncing around. Hayes gets a foot on it. Now Kirby plays around the corner. Seike down the line, and Camacho in the foot race with Clark will lose out on this occasion. And back now to Faye Kirby. That's not a great pass out, but she gets away with it. And now here come Liverpool, and it's Kapox in the pocket, knocks it wide into Holland. Liverpool rushing forwards now. Holland slows it down, waiting for support. Shimizu. Back out wide, into Holland. Thinks about the cross, decides better options are available. Kapox does put it in there, and it's claimed by Enadozi.
Again, not a bad move from Liverpool. I'm not sure what is going on with Kapox at the moment. I'm watching. I don't know whether she's got a knock or a fatigue or a fitness issue, but she looks 3 yards off it. I mean, she's still getting on the ball and playing well, but you notice that when she's running forward, it's like a light jog. She just slowly brings the ball out of defence. It's really weird because usually she's rapid and a really dangerous player. I'm not sure. Maybe there's a knock there or something, but yeah, it just doesn't seem to be playing at 100%.
Yeah, interesting observation. I guess the difference is when you're a wide player, it is very much about breaking away, bursting down the line, but playing in that 10 role, you can't really drive forwards as much, but
potentially.
I guess you could drive through the middle of the Brighton side. But yeah. Nigel says, can't wait for us to potentially go top later. Hopefully do the business and do it more comfortably than our last trip to Merseyside. Well, yeah, I think, Everton has always been a bit of a, or at least last year was a bit of a difficult trip for Manchester City. But was it last year Everton won 1-0?
2-1.
2-1, was it? Yeah, that was just a completely, complete shock. No one expected it. And then they pulled off a huge result. But yeah, I mean, again, it's a game that they should have no problems with. It's similar to United, though. United should have had no problems with Villa. And they lost that game. Even a draw would have been a better result.
I just think there's something about Yeglet. If it was a Taylor City, I would sit here and say 100%. The doors are opened wide for them and they're going to find a way to mess it up. But I don't know. City have looked really good. And what a credit it would be to Andre Yeglet if after 8 games, his side could be sat top of the table.
It feels a bit, to me, though, like 2 seasons ago when Chelsea and Arsenal were competing for the title, at least in the early part of the season. Obviously, it was Chelsea and City at the end. But Arsenal beat Chelsea, and that gave them the opportunity in the title race. Yeah. And the same things happened where Arsenal have taken points off Chelsea, and now it's City who have the opportunity. And I think they will take advantage and they'll go top this week. But I wouldn't be surprised if they then lost their rivals next weekend. Or at least true, because I think United are such a difficult side to beat. Then again, Villa did it.
Yes,
it's going to be only side to beat Manchester United this season is Aston Villa. Arroyo ball in full swing. Here is Charlie's rule. Kirby, rule. Back now to Hayes. No, it says that's what I was about to say, Harry. Yeah, about Taylor, I assume. Fair enough. But yeah.
You can really tell these are 2 sides who need a win. You really can. It almost looks nervy when they come forward. Something like either they don't know what to do with it, or they're so worried about giving it away that they don't know what to do it and they come forwards, which sounds a little bit strange. But by that I mean that they're getting into forward areas, but they're so worried about putting a cross in, getting it cleared, and being under pressure that they don't really know what to do. It's really interesting. It's going to take someone to step up, to be brave, to be bold, and just have a go.
Yeah, if this isn't a positive result for Brighton today, are they in any sort of trouble? I mean, obviously with the 1 relegation spot and the fact that West Ham and Liverpool are struggling so much, they'll probably means they'll be okay, but they're not, they'd have been expecting to compete in the top half this season. But if they aren't to win today, they'll be 4 points off London City as it stands. They'll be 7 points off Tottenham. They'll be 2 points off Villa with a game in hand, of course. It doesn't make for incredible reading from a Brighton perspective.
No, it doesn't. I think that it's a really difficult situation to judge and to talk about, because for me, I think some of their performances this season have been better than what we saw last season at times, but the results have been a lot worse, and that is the main problem at the end of the day, because football is a results business. So I think they've got to be careful. I definitely think if they don't win today, they're looking over their shoulder more than they're looking ahead. But I think they will.
Great ball in behind, by Fisk.
Brilliant again from Fisk. That's what you get with having her there. You're not watching Gemma Evans fall over. But I think it's one of those where they'll get it right eventually. I'm not worried about them being in a bad situation or anything.
One here, high by Brighton. Shots for Kankovic, who lets fly, and it's just wide of the mark. In fact, I think it was tipped wide by Faye Kirby, and that will be a Brighton corner.
I tell you what, if Faye Kirby's got a touch on that, that is a really good save. Again, sloppy from Liverpool. Nagano dispossessed in the middle of the park.
And no one does anything about it.
And I can't tell whether that was
see
safe
it again. Kankovic, let's fly.
Yes,
I think there is, yeah, just a fingertip at least to that. But yeah, no one for Liverpool there closes that down quick enough. You're giving Helena Kankovic a lot of time there on the edge of the box to take a strike.
Yeah. And she hit it well, to be fair. Caught it really nicely. Big save from Kirby.
And a corner now for the Seagulls. Ola Slagers over this. Plays it in short into Kirby. Back to Ola Slagers. Back towards Frank Kirby. Takes aim at the near post. Not a great shot though. And again, a very easy save for Faye Kirby. But I've seen this routine so many times from Brighton this season. It hasn't worked once yet.
Yeah, it's inventive, but you've got to get the execution spot on. And to catch a goal kicker out from there, you're going to need a hell of a strike.
I think it's more intended that Ola Slagers whipped it in the box, but Nagano read that and just went and closed it down.
It's true.
Clark. One back as well by Kankovic. Now Hayes onto the head of Ola Slagers. Now Minami. It's ruled. Simmons, lovely receive there on the half turn. It opens up the pitch to the left hand side. Here's Oslagers. Plays it towards Camacho. It's going to bounce through to Seike instead though. And here come Brighton now. Wooden tries to narrow it down. Plays it into Kirby. Great opportunity for Brighton. Cuts it back. Here is Seike now. Chips it towards the back post. Camacho off the post. And that's a really good move from Brighton. Perhaps deserved the goal at the end of that. Camacho heading it off the near post.
Again, really good football. The switch wasn't initially intended for Seike, but it turned out to be a brilliant ball. Seike does well. It's such a good reverse pass into the runner Kirby, who lays it back to Seike. Great combination between the two of them. Little dink from the winger. And I tell you what, Camacho's not done much wrong there. She gets up, she jumps highest, gets it on towards goal, off the outside of the post.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the technique there to make, to get the contact on it, to redirect the ball well. It's just unlucky, really, that it doesn't find its way into the back of the net. Ola Slagers. Simmons. Back to Rule. Now Kankovic, a little bit suspect there, receiving it. Bailed out, though, by Simmons. Hayes. Back towards Kankovic. One back here by Liverpool. Deemed too aggressive from Sam Kerr. I think she's a little unlucky with that one. I know there was a nudge, but I thought that's just physicality rather than a foul.
Yeah, I think that, yes, she's just being strong. Not much more. I'm not sure what else she could have done in that situation to not give away a free kick. But I tell you what, either side could score in this game. I think Brighton have definitely had the better chances, of course, in front of goal, but
it's one of those games where I think there'll be the chances for 4-4. But because both these sides are out of form, it could easily be 0-0 by the same metric. Here come Brighton. Ball fed through now, looking for Camacho. Fisk does really well there. I think Fisk and Clark have done really well. And actually, if it was someone like an Evans or a Bonner in that back line, and there was then space in behind potentially for Camacho, I think she would have scored by now. But they've done well to deal with her.
It's the recoveries almost, because they are playing pretty high, but the difference is that Fisk and Clark, Fisk especially, have got the pace to turn back and recover well, rather than the ball's going over the top and suddenly the striker is completely in on goal because Gemma Evans is 5 yards behind her. So it's working well. I definitely think this back four is probably Liverpool's best right now.
And it's just if Liverpool start picking up points this time last season, Everton were in the exact same position as we are now, and they turned it around. I think a key part of that for Everton was the result against Manchester City, of course, but then the January transfer window. They signed Kelly Gargo in that window.
That was it.
There was some other ones, they didn't matter. Here come Liverpool. Nice move down the left-hand side. Here's Enderby. Can she pick out a teammate in the box? Wants to take on Simmons now. Back to Woodham. clips it in there, head away well by Caitlin Hayes. Now it's Seike, well, it's out though, instead for a Liverpool throw. But they brought in Martina Fernandez. That was a fantastic addition, albeit she hasn't been that good this season for Everton. But she was a really important addition last campaign. They brought in Hayley Ladd. That was that injection of experience, but also still a very good quality player. That's what Liverpool have to do in January. They have to go and sign a goal scorer, a key defender, and a creator. It's the same sort of thing, the same sort of things that you're looking at. Because I think they'd like another option midfield, similar to last January when they went and got Sam Kerr. That would be the perfect signing. If they could sign Sam Kerr again, just so they've got 2 Sam Kerrs.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be great. If they could get a goal scorer, so if they got, again, a Sam Kerr, slightly different one. Ball's going through the line. Here come Liverpool. Woodham puts it across the box. Chance now. Olsen, and it's there. And Liverpool take the lead. A nice move down the left-hand side. Lily Woodham holds the width well, delivers the ball perfectly. And Beta Olsen, after opening her Twfc account last weekend, finds her second in 2 matches. And Liverpool take the lead. And this is a really nice move here. Woodham holds the width excellently on the left-hand side. It's Sam Kerr's pass, I believe, through the lines that just is able to pick out Lily Woodham. And Beta Olsen, waiting in the box, fires it home.
Brilliant from Woodham. Again, really good football from Liverpool down this left-hand side. What a pass this is through into Woodham. It's a great run, and the ball from Woodham into the box is superb. Into the corridor of uncertainty. It's put in a brilliant spot. Olsen does want to poke it goalwards, and I tell you what, Enandozie has had a bit of a mare there.
Should do a lot better.
Oh, yeah. Just gets it all wrong. Olsen does well to just put it on target, and Enandozie's kind of done the rest. It's straight at her. She's limbs all flying around in the air, and none of them managed to stop the ball rolling past her. I think she's expected it. She looks like she's gone up for a shot to be in the air. Her legs are up in the air, but the ball's on the floor. Bit of a mistake there from Enandozie, but take nothing away from Liverpool. A really well-crafted goal. And Olsen, as you say, 2 in 2 now. And I spoke about it. If her and Kapots can start delivering a little bit more consistently, or if Olsen can bring consistency to back up Kapots, then Liverpool could really be on the money.
Well, she's their joint top scorer now, and she only started scoring last Sunday.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I think, if she can step up into that striker role, I think for Enderby as well, not being the centre forward, not being the focal point where there is that reliance on you to score.
Yeah.
I think that is really important for her game as well. And Olsen can clearly handle being that out-and-out number 9. She wants to play on the shoulder, get in behind. Kapokshead trying to turn Kankovic, one back by Brighton. Pass into Simmons now. Wants to execute out to the right-hand side. One back by Woodham, under pressure immediately though. Here's Fisk. And that's
my days.
Poor pass from Fisk. Gets away with it though. Kirby doing her best. There was a pass back.
No, it was deflected, wasn't it?
Oh, true.
She could have picked it up and moved on.
I actually thought about that.
But yeah, and again, you mentioned Enderby there, but even that goal, it's the things that she does that just aren't noted, because obviously she's tucked in. She's dragged the fullback in to allow Woodham to burst down the line. And it's just those little things. The off-the-ball stuff from Enderby is really, really good. But that was although obviously the finish wasn't spectacular and Enandozie did her best to let it in, it was a really well-crafted goal from Liverpool. And again, it shows that under Gareth Taylor, if they can play football like that, they are gonna, get through the lot. Get through a lot of teams this season.
But also, it's exactly why you have Lily Woodham, because she's a fantastic overlapping fullback. Yeah, she's not brilliant defensively, but if you've got someone like Shimizu who's so disciplined and can play passes like that, here is Olsen, tries to cut it back. It's not bad actually. To Sanko, right hit, and that was not a million miles away from the Scot. Just wrapped her foot around that one quite sweetly.
This was absolutely brilliant. The ball from Shimizu into the run of Olsen was superb. Initially, I thought Olsen's cutback was terrible, but she cuts it back to Kerr on the edge, and she is so unlucky this has not found the back of the net.
It's one that looks terrible because she's actually picked out a teammate rather than just fizzing it across the box.
But yeah, she kind of just scuffed it back towards the edge of the area, and Sam Kerr has caught that so nicely. Enandozie was nowhere to be seen. I'll tell you what, that could have so easily been Liverpool 2.
And they've won it high at the pitch again. Here is Olsen. Can she get out her feet? Brilliant from Hayes to recover. Going to fall now to Kapocs. Holland. Shimizu. Clark, now Fisk. And that's one back by Seike. And here come Brighton. Kiko Seike with space to drive into. It's 3-on-2 for Brighton. Can she pick up the pass? She's tried to be too pinpoint with that. And it's one back by Nagano. Now Woodham. Enderby. Touch back to Nagano. Woodham. Now Fisk. And it's Faye Kirby to Nagano, who's been caught here. Just for Brighton. How have they capitalised? McLaughlin. Big save from Faye Kirby. And that's a foul from Camacho. Wow. And how have Brighton not taken advantage of that? Nagano caught in possession. Bailed out by some really good goalkeeping from Faye Kirby.
Wow, what a let-off for Nagano. Slips. It's raining. It's chucking it down level. Just slips on the ball. Falls in the turf. And Faye Kirby, this is superb. The initial gets her leg across to stop the cutback and then recovers well.
It's a goal from Camacho. Absolutely a goal from Camacho. Nagano, what is she doing? Drops to McLaughlin, and that is excellent from Kirby. Two brilliant pieces of goalkeeping there from Faye Kirby. While Anadozie arguably cost her side at the other end, Faye Kirby's just kept them in it.
That's brilliant. And a moment ago, it could have been 2-0 Liverpool, and now we're sat here wondering how it's not 1-1. This is the kind of game we've got on it. But Faye Kirby, superb. Where has this kind of performance been from Faye Kirby?
Oh, yeah. Here come Brighton in behind again. Seike, Liverpool have got to shore up. Can she pick out someone? Kirby thinks it towards the back post. Camacho looking for it. Clark will get there. Down now with a head injury, and that will be a stoppage. And Brighton are furious, but you can't not stop the game for a head injury. Albeit, I mean, she's immediately got back up again, and it was her shoulder.
That's not ideal. That
well, yeah.
No one's happy with this because Liverpool, the referee's called on the physio, so that means that Clark's going to go off when she doesn't need to, and Brighton had the ball, so they're also frustrated.
No one's happy.
No.
It's very difficult in football to make a decision that absolutely no one agrees with.
That is true.
Because usually if you make a bad decision, there's going to be fans on, for one side that are happy with it.
I think what it is, I think she's more concerned that it's the neck area, which then obviously means that the physios have to come on and check her. As much as Jenna Clark can say that she feels absolutely fine, I think it's probably the right decision that she does get checked though. She heads it away. What actually happens?
It's a little nudge. The problem is she goes down holding her head, but it's her shoulder. It's her shoulder that gets nudged, and she goes down holding her head. I mean, the ref doesn't really have a choice there, so it's a completely right decision. If a player goes down holding the head, you have to give it.
And then she still has, and then the frustrating thing is because obviously it's protocol that because of that, then she has to get checked over when she thinks she's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But better safe than sorry. But Brighton did have the ball. They'll be most frustrated. Obviously, they can't help it either. But yeah, this game has really kicked into life. I still have no idea what the result's going to be. I'm not quite sure how Liverpool have been given the ball.
I thought you were Mystic Megma. I thought you'd know.
Oh, sorry.
I've still got no idea what the result's going to be.
Yeah, I know. But
obviously, with 30 minutes in.
No. But you can sit here and go, one team's on top, they're going to find a way to win, but this could really go either way.
And well, speaking of going either way, we've got a goal in London City versus Tottenham. It is London City 1, Tottenham 1. Katinka Turnberg finishing from the penalty spot. And London City
another
penalty conceded. That is outrageous.
It's not good enough.
I was trying to find the stat again. That is their 4th penalty conceded this season.
Seike there, by the way, with a pullback on Woodham, concedes a free kick and picks up a yellow card to go with it. Very obvious. Woodham just burst past her, and Seike grabs a hold of her shirt and pulls her to the floor.
We're saying that is the same number of penalties as was the most conceded by any team last season.
Wow.
Which was Tottenham with 4.
What a flick on that is.
Just now, big stop. And I think there must be a flag up for offside, or everyone's just ignoring the fact that Liverpool put a cross in. So Brighton, free kick now.
Again, deep free kick there from Liverpool, put into the box. Clark flicks it on brilliantly to Grace Fisk, who poked it goalwards, saved by Anadozie, but believe Fisk was offside. Yes, she was. So wouldn't have counted anyway. But again, Liverpool causing problems, putting Brighton under pressure in their own 18-yard box, and again, Brighton faulting a little bit.
And that's where Anadozi's style of goalkeeping comes in handy there, because she makes a brilliant save there because she rushes out and narrows the angle. If she hadn't, it may have been poked past her, even though obviously it was offside. Enderby tries to beat Simmons, one back though by Rule. And now it's Seike. Simmons.
It's a really difficult one now for Liverpool, because how many times have they been in this situation this season?
Yeah.
They led at Tottenham, they led at Manchester City. Did they lead? No, they didn't lead against Everton, but they did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Or it was 1-1. Can't remember.
But even so, how many times this season have they been in a winning position or been in a position where they could take a point away, and then they did go
under that.
So, they've already let, out of the 6 games this season, they've already, not counting this one, they've already led 3 times, and they lost all 3 of those games. So I think if you're Brighton, there's still a lot of assurance that you can get something from this game. For Liverpool, they know how crucial that second goal could be.
Ball down the right-hand side, and they're searching for it now. Here is Holland, chops in, puts it in the area, just now Enderby can't quite meet it. And it drops down the edge of the box. Nagano slips over the ball, manages to hold on to it. Bit of a mess, held on to by Liverpool and given us a Brighton free kick, I think, obstruction, right?
Potentially.
Because Nagano
sat on it.
Yeah, jumps on top of the ball.
Someone needs to get Fuga Nagano some new boots at half-time, because she can't keep falling over, because it nearly cost Liverpool a moment ago. They've got to be careful.
Oh, we just saw the penalty on the little screen. I missed it. Apparently a silly one from Kumagai. That's what chat's saying.
Good penalty though from Tamberg. Sends the keeper the wrong way. And Tottenham back level there.
Indeed, and see also 2 yellows already in that game. Gayoro and Paris. Nilda has been booked as well, so quite a combative one in that sort of London derby.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I suppose it is.
How much of a feisty atmosphere is there? I'm not sure. I mean, that might be the only game so far this season where London City have more home support.
Yeah.
I believe most other games they've actually been outnumbered. Hayes plays it forward, looking for Seike, cuts out well. Now Nagano. Round the corner into Kerr. And here come Liverpool. Enderby making the run off the shoulder. Kerr goes inside to Kapox. That's cleared away well. They miss Kapox on the left wing, I think. As good as Enderby's been at tucking in and giving the space to Woodham, they do just miss someone that's going to, get in there and create something. And that's brilliant from Kapox. Receives it well on the turn and knocks it out wide for Holland, who's now making a run towards the penalty area and wants to take on Arslagers. Puts it in the box, looking for Olsen. Headed away by Caitlin Hayes. Now Holland. Back now to Shimizu. Kapox. Here's Nagano. Fisk. Out to Woodham. Phil says, is Nagano playing in sliders?
Yeah.
Yeah, she just keeps slipping over every few seconds. It's not been her finest game. Enderby there, barrelled over by Charlie's Rule, and that will be a Liverpool free kick.
Liverpool playing really well, have to say. It's been a really good first half so far. Even the times where it's looked a bit shaky, they've now steadied up again. And they're on the ball, they're dictating, and they're doing well. It's just that second goal, it is vitally important, because again, it feels like the Gareth Taylor MO for his team to go 1-0 up, dominate the ball, just be comfortable in possession, see the game out, and we get to the 70th minute and the opposition have a chance to score it and they somehow drop points.
Yeah.
But they just need that second goal now.
They need a second goal. They've ridden their luck a little bit because they keep making mistakes, and Brighton haven't capitalised yet. Free kick now for Liverpool. Can they make something happen from this deep free kick? Brighton are not happy about how long this is taking. That's a brilliant delivery, and no one gambles for Liverpool. Clark will keep it in touch, though. And kicks it into Seike to win Liverpool a throw.
What a ball that was. Was it Holland who was the nearest player to it? And I think because she was the near post runner.
Holland was also on the free kick.
Was she? Maybe then.
I don't know.
Whoever it was, because they were the near post runner, They left it expecting players to have a better opportunity
Yeah.
behind them, but they
No one else
taken themselves.
Yeah, no one else gambled to the same extent. I think it was Olsen.
Potentially.
Here's Fisk. Clark. Now Kapox. Brought down in there. Now it's with Nagano, though, who can take aim from range. That's a brilliant stop from Enadozi. A fantastic effort from Nagano. How she's driven so much power through that. And tipped onto the bar by Chiamaka Enadozi. And it's all from Kapox there that creates this for Nagano, who lets fly. That's a brilliant stop from the Brighton keeper.
Again, really sharp from Liverpool. Good football. Really good from Nagano. Great save from Enadozi. Great use of the advantage as well from the referee. Allowing Nagano to take that effort. And I tell you what, that's either side of Enadozi there. May have even found the back of the net.
Surprised she hasn't gone back and booked Helena Gankovic for that. Ball in now to the area, looking for Clark, who heads it off wildly. She'll try and keep it in touch now. And does. Play to Holland. Now back in. Not a bad ball, but no one able to meet it. And that's out for a goal kick.
Another good spell from Liverpool. Good 5 minutes. Just need to get to half time now.
Cornelia Kapoor is such a good player.
Yeah.
And I think, usually you play on the left-hand side. She's going to drift inside, sort of play in that left pocket. By playing her attack midfield, she's operating in that right pocket. She's combining really nicely with players, with the wide play of Holland, with Nagano, with Olsen as well. She just keeps receiving it as well in so much space. And Brighton just can't stick anyone on her.
No.
Because they're playing this, it is a back three for most of the time in possession. It's quite difficult then to adjust to a side who are so high. Here is Olsen into Kapox, who bursts past Roll, and she's been tripped up. And that will surely be a free kick and a yellow card. I'm not sure the card is coming, actually. But that is definitely a free kick.
Yeah, it will be a fortune after Roll if she gets away with that.
Nowhere near the ball.
Yeah, again, brilliant from Kapox. Just bursts through 2 bodies and knows that the tackle's going to come in from somebody.
It's won back brilliantly by Olsen. Works hard for it. Squeeze it through to Kapox. And yeah, really smart foot play from Cornelia Kapox. Drawing the foul.
But again, Brighton dispossessed in their own third. All sorts of problems occurring. They haven't had a sniff in the last 5-10 minutes. They've really had nothing to combat Liverpool at the moment.
Yeah.
They've got to change something at half time.
And for Liverpool, if they just had more Swedish attackers, imagine how good they'd look.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Kapox is one of those, similar to Olivia Holt actually, how in their first seasons when they joined, the system didn't really fit them and they didn't get to play too much. But now this season, under new management, with a new system in a role that they can thrive in, they've been absolutely brilliant.
I think Kapox was good last season. She was overshadowed massively by Olivia Smith. Holland doesn't quite get that one right. Sends it off into the stands.
Should be frustrated by that. It's a bit of a waste. We've seen how dangerous they have been and how fragile Brighton have looked when the ball's been put into their own penalty area and asked questions, but that was asking nothing of anyone from Holland. Again, Brighton playing out, and they're completely boxed in here, and they've given it away
One
again.
back again. Here is Sam Kerr, this time from range off the bar. And well, Liverpool going for goal of the season. They haven't quite found it yet. Woodham, Shimizu, now Enderby. Lays it to Woodham across the box. Chance now. Will anyone meet it? No, they can't. And now Brighton will look to counter. McLaughlin into Camacho. Brilliant from Clark, and Liverpool looking to turn defence into attack. This game is just pinballing around still.
How have Liverpool not found a second goal?
Here is Nagano. Options ahead of her. Goes wide to Holland. Players in the box. Ball in. It's claimed by Enadozi.
Crashing the crossbar again. This time it was Kurt. She put one just wide the post from range earlier on. And this one again caps it so well. So well. Beat Enadozi, but couldn't get it under the bar.
Minami. Ola Slagers. Back now to Mwaka Minami. Enadozi. They've got to put this game out of sight, Liverpool, because Brighton will adapt. Vidosic is very good at changing his team on the fly, and if they are still 1-0 down, they will change things at half time. They will keep making system changes throughout the second half. Liverpool have got to kill this game off before Brighton are given time to adapt.
So good from everyone involved in the moment for Liverpool.
Yeah, they look really good. Here's Woodham. Looking for that pass down the line, not quite becoming available. That's possession given away. Shame for Liverpool, because if this is to be the game that's sort of kickstart a bit of momentum, it's the wrong time really when they go into a run of Chelsea, Villa, and Arsenal.
Yeah,
that's not when you want the momentum. You wanted it when you were playing a lot of they've played Leicester already this season, London City, they've faced Everton. I think them last week. They're the games you would want to get something from, but obviously West Ham coming up, their last game before Christmas, that will be very crucial.
I think a point on the board, any points on the board, will be absolutely massive.
Here is Rule. Cut out well by Nagano. That's 2 minutes of additional time. Well, yeah, if you don't have a point before Christmas, there's simply no way about it. You have to be sacked. Capox. Nagano. Now Capox. Because by that point, you've played every team in the league bar one.
Yeah.
And, it's the longest break in the season.
And especially that West Ham are also currently on course to pick up a point today. Obviously, not sure how the momentum in that game, whether they're hanging on for dear life, whether they're all over Leicester, but...
Yeah. One shot on target each from 15 attempts across the two teams.
Right.
9 shots from West Ham. I don't think I've ever seen a shot map look like that.
9 shots.
Just all from stupid places.
9 shots, 1 on target. How have they taken one of the best front threes in the league last season, and now they can't hit a bundle or banjo?
Because normally you get a shooting map like this one for Leicester. I can't really show people, unfortunately, but you get this one for Leicester. They're all, they're creating chances in the same sort of position. West Ham's, it looks like a scattergram, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shots everywhere.
That's ridiculous. You're not going to score like that.
None of them are from goal scoring positions. There's 2 in zone 14, and they are one for Asai, one for Martinez. Neither of them anywhere near the target.
They're feeling the pressure, is what they are.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. At least Liverpool have put the ball in the back of the net, but they're losing. They put the ball in the net.
Great drive forwards, trying to cut it across. And that is out. Well, it's come back off. Actually, not happy about it, but that will be a Brighton goal kick. Yeah, I'm just not sure. I feel Morgan's obviously has had the only shot on target with 0.05 XG in the penalty area. She managed to turn it into 0.00 XGOT. Let's just hit that incredibly softly.
I don't know what's going on at West Ham.
I don't think West Ham know what's going on at West Ham, but it is half time here in St Helens. Liverpool 1, Brighton 0. Beta Olsen with her second in 2 games. And that puts Liverpool in the lead going into the break. Liverpool 1, Brighton 0. They've been really good. Liverpool, by far their best performance so far of the season. Really impressive stuff. Jojo asking, where can we see the shot map? If you go to... I'm using FootMob. You could also use SofaScore. I think that will probably have it as well. You can see the shot map. And to be fair, Liverpool's is quite scattered as well. But yeah, that is half time in this game. I've been incredibly impressed by what I've seen from Liverpool in this game. Yeah, they've done really well.
Yeah, I find these performances incredible because, again, although we said that they've been getting there, and I think they have been, it has got better and better from Liverpool. If you'd shown someone that 45 minutes from Liverpool and then told them they were bottom of the league with 0 points, they would have thought you were joking. Because that was not a performance that was representative of where they are on the table. And that shows that they are, I think sometimes you have to take the table with a bit of pinch of salt. Obviously, we're getting to the point in the season where it now does start to matter, but I still think there's plenty of time for Liverpool. We know they've been getting better and better. I thought last week against Tottenham was their best performance of the season, and they've gone and bettered that this week. It's been a brilliant 45 minutes. They've got to keep it up because they are playing very, very well. Yes, they've had to ride their luck at times, but I think that it's one of those where that last 10 minutes of the first half was absolutely sublime. I think there was a Sky Sports graphic came up there that only 3% of that last 10 minutes of the half was played in the Liverpool third. The rest of it was either in the middle third or in Brighton's third, because it was just dominance from Liverpool. They've done so well to control this game so far, and they just look really comfortable on the ball. I think Grace Fisk as centre half, as the captain in there, can just dictate that backline, can control that backline, and it's a massive boost for everybody. Yeah. Nagano, when she's not slipping over all the time, has looked really comfortable in possession. Sam Kerr has been brilliant ticking over in that midfield, and to be honest, when Herbinger got injured and obviously is now out for the rest of the season with an ACL injury, I thought they were in big trouble. But that midfield three of Capox, Kerr and Nagano, or the pivot and then Nagano, then Capox in front, has looked so strong. And I think that is brilliance from Gareth Taylor on some part, to realise that moving Capox into the middle, to be that Herbinger replacement in there as the creator, as the goal scorer, as that kind of all-in-one player, has been a real breath of fresh air for Liverpool. Because as good as I think McLean is, and how talented and the potential she's got, it wasn't up to the level of Herbinger, whereas Capox has come in and looked really sharp. Across the board, I've been massively impressed with Liverpool. I don't think there's a single player that's put a foot wrong. Obviously, they've made a couple of errors. Obviously, Nagano has slipped over, and if it wasn't for some brilliant saves from Faye Kirby, then Brighton may have found back a net in this game. But I think that Liverpool are deserving of their lead at half time.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been incredibly impressed. I think Faye Kirby is someone, I think if you're going to criticise players, which I do, you have to then give them their applause when they do incredibly well. And Faye Kirby is someone who multiple times this season, and I still think it's very fair, I have criticised heavily, because I think she has been incredibly poor. But in this game, she's been excellent. She's kept Liverpool in the game at times. I think really proactive goalkeeping, really smart, really calm goalkeeping as well. I think oftentimes she flaps at things, but in this game, she's done really well to just go deal with things. That ball across the box after Nagano's mistake, she easily could have made a mistake there, but so she jumps on it, gets something on that pass, and then reacts again to that shot from McLaughlin. So yeah, really good goalkeeping so far from Kirby. I think Brighton haven't been great coming forwards, if I'm honest, which does help, but I think it's been really good goalkeeping from Kirby. As for the rest of the Liverpool side, I completely agree with what you're saying. I think that midfield composition is really interesting, how they are moving from what is quite a traditional double pivot when they're building up into much more of a single pivot when they're much higher up the pitch, allowing Sam Kerr to get a little bit higher at times. But it's also quite interchangeable. I mean, we've seen Nagano higher at times and Kerr dropping in. So yeah, they're a really nice pair that are working in tandem, that Kerr and Nagano pivot. I think I'm interested to see how they apply that to games where there is less space in midfield, because I think Brighton are very open at the moment. Kirby's playing almost as a second striker, and Simmons and Kankovic are quite deep, so there's a lot of space in there. And even when Simmons and Kankovic aren't deep, they do get split. There's quite a lot of distance between them. It's quite easy to sort of play through the middle there. But Liverpool are doing really well. They're funneling the passes through the middle of the pitch and then looking to get them out wide and then get balls across the box. It looks really dangerous, because Brighton are very narrow at how they look to press. Very wide in how they look to press, and very narrow at the back. And so you're sort of just going narrow where Brighton are wide, and then going wide where Brighton are narrow. It's been really interesting. I think Kit Taylor's nailed it so far with the selection, with the lineup, with how Liverpool are looking to play, and the Liverpool players have executed everything that Taylor would have asked of them, I believe. I think, a couple of things to touch on as well would be Holland's delivery. I think has got to be better. At times, she just fairly aimlessly loops the ball in the box. Again, it's one of those halves where if they hadn't got a somewhat fortunate goal, we may be speaking about it in similar terms as a lot of their games this season, where they've been very promising, but it hasn't quite come. They've got the goal in this game, though, and they've got to use that now and kick on from it. Yeah,
100%. I think that they'll be more frustrated that they haven't had more. Sam Kerr has had some brilliant efforts from range. The one that whistled just past the post, and the one just for the half that crashed against the crossbar. Nagano saw her effort tipped onto the bar by Ndozi. So there's been definite opportunities for them to have a couple more goals in this game, and I think that second goal is absolutely crucial. But yeah, they've looked really good. They look really comfortable. Again, there are still a couple of errors, and they do look vulnerable at times. They have been caught on the ball, but as you say, Faye Kirby's bailed them out, made some really big saves, and all they've recovered well. So it's not perfect. Of course, I wasn't expecting to sit here and go, wow, they look like champions, but it's been a massive, massive step in the right direction, and they are all working very, very well. And you can tell the play. I think what Taylor has done very well, and I think that, again, people will think he doesn't do this because of the whole Chloe Kelly situation, but the way he has kept that dressing room together and the belief they've had, and the way the performances have got better and better, and they've taken momentum from that. You can tell everybody in that dressing room still believes that they can get points on the board this season and can achieve well. So I think they're in a real good position. Once you lose the dressing room and players are out of form, you could be in a bit of trouble. But it's just once it all comes together for Liverpool, which it has in that first half, I think they're going to find themselves in ending up in a really good spot this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can do. I think I still think they're a few players away. I think their lack of depth is going to be a bit of a problem for them. I think even in today's game, you look at that bench and they've got one player that come in and play anywhere across the front line, and Leanne Kiernan. I think Kiernan can be a real handful for players, but you would want more options, more different options off the bench. It's mainly defenders. The fact they've got two goalkeepers on there sort of pad out the bench as well says everything. As for Brighton, it's not been... It's been a weird performance. I think they have struggled to build up, but they have done really well to take advantage of Liverpool at times. And again, it's one of those where if they've taken their chances, they've not been too bad in terms of getting shots away. 5 shots in this game, 4 of which have been on target. The only one that wasn't on target was Camacho's, which was probably the closest they've had to going in this game. But Brighton have had chances. In fact, 2 big chances to Liverpool's 1. And while Liverpool took theirs, Brighton are yet to take any of their chances. But I still think Liverpool are vulnerable on the break, and I think if Brighton could take advantage of that. And yeah, on another day, again, as I say, we'd be thinking about this very differently if that Camacho header goes in and Dozy saves it from Olsen. Of course, that's not the situation, but I don't want to rush into saying that Liverpool's performance has been incredible. It's definitely been better and they've done very well, but there are still glaring issues for Liverpool, especially when defending transitions. But overall, very, very good stuff from Liverpool. Nigel, thank you for the update on the WSL 2. It's Durham 1, Newcastle 1 there. Newcastle took the lead, and Durham with the equaliser. It's also half-time in West Ham Leicester. That was a few minutes ago now. But yeah, if you're watching along, you've got any thoughts on that first half, feel free to get involved in the live chat. But yeah, what do Brighton need to change then? Is there anything, or do they just need to start taking their chances?
I think, as you say, it's more their chances. Bar that last 10 minutes where they really got bogged down and put under pressure, they were doing well to press high, and then they just didn't take advantage of Liverpool errors. Again, it's a very different thing. They could have, if they punish those errors, and suddenly it's a very different game. I think that they have got to be careful that they don't get caught out, and because another Liverpool goal and suddenly they're banging trouble. So I think when they've moved it quickly, they've looked dangerous. Again, it's what I said in the build-up, and it's what we didn't see last week against Man United until later on when they scored the goals, is that when Kirby and Seike and co have got on the ball, they've looked really dangerous. But when other players have tried to bring it forwards and stuff, it's looked a little bit clunky, or we've seen missed attempts, and they've made errors. I think that the midfield-wise, Liverpool are winning that midfield battle. And don't get me wrong, it's a very, very good Liverpool midfield, but if Kirby is going to go that high, you've got to find a way to support Simmons and Kankovic, because they're getting overran in there. They're struggling to keep up with that Liverpool midfield. They've got to be careful that they don't just keep getting overran and then get caught out by it again, because, as I say, next goal is absolutely massive. If Brighton score it, it is absolutely game on. If Liverpool score it, then I think that we could be seeing the Reds pick up their first points of the season. So it's absolutely crucial, I think, that Brighton come out fast in the second half and look to get on level terms pretty swiftly in that second 45 minutes.
Yeah, the problem for Brighton is I don't see where the goals come from. It's the problem we've had with Liverpool throughout this season. But Kapox and Olsen now are stepping up, and there has been shots and range from Kerr and Nagano, and they have looked like scoring. I look at the Brighton performance in front of goal, and I think Kirby and Seike are both really good attackers, and Camacho is really promising, but none of them are really hitting the target at the moment. None of them are really being consistent enough in front of goal. Brighton's best chances of this game were Carla Camacho's header against the post, and that wasn't bad. That was really good technique, but it could have been a goal.
Yeah.
And then, but other than that, I think that the other big chance was probably the one for McLaughlin that was on, in the penalty area after the Nagano mistake. But yeah, they're not the kind of players, again, that you want in those areas. The same thing we said last weekend when they played United. They just didn't really get shots for the likes of Kirby and Seika in the right sort of positions.
Yeah.
I think Kirby's been too wide to really get shots away at goal, and she's trying to be that more creative player. I think her and Seika have combined really nicely, but they're probably your best two goal scorers. They're probably the best two creators as well, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I think they need to get those players into goal scoring positions.
Yeah, and it's that question. It's that question for Brighton because again they haven't been bad today. It's just been not good enough to win almost. Like they've played well this season. I think it's been the case in a few of their games that they've not been bad. They've competed, but again they can't find the back of the net, and it's just that they're second best, but they're not getting played off the park by anybody. The Arsenal game, the United game, the was it Tottenham in there as well? All these all those games, they weren't completely bad. They never played off the park. They were always in the game, but it ends up just falling away, and they don't manage to take advantage, and then they get caught out. So it's definitely something they need to get better at and to review, because it's the kind of thing where if they don't start putting the ball in the back of the net and they don't shore up a little bit, they are going to end up being the wrong end of the table, and we know how good they potentially can be.
Now, so you're just watching the goals from the London City Tottenham game. That was a remarkably stupid tackle from Saki Kumagai. And it was also quite a fortunate goal anyway for London City to take the lead. Tottenham probably should have dealt better with that corner. But yeah, they are all square over there in that kind of London derby.
Yeah, it is a London derby, I suppose.
There's no feistiness to it yet, but that's because London City are still a very young side.
That is true. But that's a big game for both sides. London City want to keep the points ticking over. Tottenham want to try and keep pace with the top four, which is what they're doing at the moment. West Ham Leicester, I mean, it's a massive game, but at the moment no one knows how to put the ball in the back of the net, so it's been quite fun. You've got Rick Passmore's let's try and not pass the ball team, and West Ham who can't score.
Who, out of those two sides, West Ham and Leicester, who is a draw more favourable for?
I think West Ham, purely because they're on no points.
Is it though?
Yes.
For me, I feel it's Leicester.
Again, is it dependent on this result here? Because if Liverpool win and West Ham only draw, they're still behind them and they're still in that
I think it's more the fact that if West Ham don't win this game, who are they going to be? And if Leicester don't lose to West Ham, then it doesn't really matter what they do for the rest of the season.
True. I think it's one of those where, yeah, but especially because if this Liverpool performance went up against any West Ham performance of this season in December, Liverpool will win that game. So, yeah, that is very simple. Yeah. So, yeah, I think West Ham would just like to get any points on the board. The fact they haven't got a single one yet, I think they'd appreciate the fact they could at least get one. They're off that donut, which would be huge for them.
Another goal in the game between London City and Tottenham. It's London City 2, Tottenham 1. Nikita Paris with a goal from close range.
Blimey,
A fantastic breakaway, says Nigel.
What, from kick-off? They Tottenham.
They kicked off 5 minutes early, didn't they? So 5 minutes into the second half.
I was about to say, if Tottenham just not come out from half time and London City gone and scored. Goal.
Yeah, no. That game did start a little earlier. But yeah, thank you, Nigel, again, for updating us in the chat. We're about to get back underway here at the St Helens Stadium. Liverpool leading by a goal to nil going into the second 45. As they look to try and take their first point, and potentially even more than that, of the season. Liverpool from the middle. Jenna Clark will punt it out of play. Actually, it'll be kept in well by Rule. And Brighton will look to use it. One back well, though, by Woodham. Liverpool out. High up the field. Enderby goes back into Fisk. And well, we are at St Helens. I thought we were watching rugby there.
Yeah.
That being punted out. Nagano knocks it down the line. Here come Liverpool. Woodham. In towards Olsen in the box. And Minami done enough there to put her off. That's going to drop now for Nagano from range. And then Adozi saves it well.
Good. Another good positive start from Liverpool. Good football down the left-hand side. Another great ball from Woodham. Really played so well today. I think I owe her a massive apology because going into the season, I massively questioned that signing from Liverpool. But I think she had a really good campaign so far. in a, especially in a side that haven't got a point yet this season. But she's played very, very well.
I think the problem is because Liverpool's defence has been so poor and she's not brilliant defensively, it makes her look bad. But you know what you're getting with Lily Woodham. She's not an incredible defender, but she's really good going forwards. And if the rest of your back line are more defensive players and your centre backs aren't constantly making mistakes, I think you can, as Liverpool look today, look really decent defensively.
Yeah.
Phil saying the dark kickoff actually done properly. Yeah, Liverpool were able to put Brighton under some pressure there. As they just press them really aggressive. I think that's what you've got to do against Brighton, is give them the ball. If you give them the ball, they will make mistakes. Rachel Shimizu taking her time out this throw-in. She's going to get the hurry up here from the referee. Played forward by Nagano. Fox can't quite keep it under her control. Here's Hayes. Now Rule. Minami. Plays it down the line. That is misplaced, and it's out for a Liverpool throw. It's weird because Minami looked excellent the first few games of this season, but I think last week against United she was really poor. Today she struggled as well.
Yeah, very true. And again, it's things like that can just start to derail your season. You lose a couple of games, players start to hit bad runs of forms, and then suddenly you find yourself in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, it's Holland. Looking forward, has Kapox now overlapping. That allows her to go inside. That is a poor pass from Holland, but it will be kept alive here by Kerr. Woodham. Now Enderby. Back out wide to Kerr. Woodham. Nagano. Woodham. Into Kerr. Got to find the delivery now. Not a great ball. Again, there's just not really an intended target. It's just a ball into the penalty area. Nagano. Back now to Fisk. Across to Nagano, and they're under pressure here from Brighton. Here's Shimizu. Lovely knock down the line. Holland now battling away with Marissa Ollis-Lagers. Passes inside to Fox. Nagano. Clark. Parks tries to go around the corner into Nagano. One back, and here come Brighton. Kirby out to Seike on the right hand side. Can she pick out Camacho? She can. Camacho in the box. Should do better than that, though. Can't quite get out of her feet, and Clark recovers excellently. And now Liverpool will turn defence into attack again. The ball in behind, looking for Olsen. Minami will get there. It's back to Enadozi.
Yeah, just a warning sign. Another little scare for Liverpool. This game is very much not over. And Brighton could easily get themselves back into it. That is a great switch of the plate.
To Ollis-Lagers, a shift inside now. To Simmons. Minami. McLaughlin back to Minami. Plays it through into Camacho. He's gone too early. And that is offside.
Yeah, just timed it wrong there, Camacho. Right idea, because she ran into the gap, but just went too early. Got to time that run. It was a well-held line by Liverpool. And again, that come the organisation, the defensive discipline that has been added with having your skipper in the middle of that back line, with having Risa Shimizu in the team. You've got experience at the back now, you've got leadership. And they look so much more together and defend as a unit rather than every defender for themselves.
Shimizu. Holland down the line looking for Kapox. Now back towards Enadozi. Clears it out well. Here is Nagano. To make something happen. Shimizu. Holland. Needs support here. Holland back to Shimizu. Lays it in low, and Minami gets it out.
Got that one all wrong. Shimizu wanted to try and lift it towards the back post and end up just passing it into the near post.
Nagano. Holland. Back to Fuka Nagano. Down the line, looking now for the run off Capox, who just really hold on to that ball under pressure from Simmons. And that's blocked by Simmons. It's going to drop now to Capox again. Holland. Shimizu. Holland. Swings the delivery in. Not a bad ball again. It's out now. Which way is it gone? It'll be a Liverpool corner. Or will it?
No, goal kick, I think. Which I don't know. I have no idea that came off. But again, teasing from Liverpool. Recycling possession. Keeping that ball alive. And every now and again, just putting it in the box. Looking to put Brighton under some pressure in their own 18-yard box.
Hayes. Kirby. Back now to Hayes. Plays it forward. Cut out well there by Clark. And now Enderby. Woodham. Here's Fisk. Kirby. Great pass forward into Capox. One back here by Brighton. McLaughlin. Turned over well, and here come Liverpool. Holland. Capox tries to drive forwards, and that's out now. And well, Liverpool, I think it should be their throw, but it's going to be a Brighton throw. Minami. On to a Simmons. Turned over here well by Bader Olsen. And can they use it now, Liverpool? Olsen. Back to Shimizu. No, it's not really gone anywhere, and that will be a Liverpool throw. I think they've got to move the ball quicker when they turn over half the pitch. Liverpool. Shimizu.
I think I've got more. I think they've got more. I think they can hurt Brighton. But again, as you say, it just seems they seem to be more focused on just keeping it tight and not wanting to give anything away, which is fine. But I think the opportunities are there to really kill this game off and get a couple of goals in this match. But the longer it stays 1-0, you just feel that threat of Brighton finding an equaliser starts to loom larger and larger.
Well, I feel like we need a klaxon. Nigel has put it in full caps, but West Ham have scored a goal. It's West Ham 1.
Wow.
Leicester City 0.
It is happening.
Is it from open play? We'll find out shortly. Brighton trying to come forwards. One back well by Nagano. Dragged down though, and that is deemed a foul from Helena Kankovic.
Yeah. Just a bit too aggressive. Smart from Nagano. Just gets on top of the ball. Yeah, it does want to get a body in between the ball and Simmons.
Yeah.
And then Simmons commits a foul. I think I can understand Simmons' frustrations because that's really unlucky. But it's just good. It's more good play from Nagano than Simmons doing anything wrong.
Shakira Martinez with the goal.
Wow.
I'm not sure what it's gone in off, but Footmop has listed it as other body parts. Regular play, goal.
Fair enough.
Chested in from 6 yards out or something like that. I'm not sure.
Maybe. This is so WSL though that neither West Ham or Liverpool picked out a point all season, and then they're going to both win on the same matchweek. It's going to do nothing for the relegation battle.
Well, it's just going to bring everyone into it.
It will, yeah, it will drag Leicester into it, which is not what Rick Passmore wants.
I think it almost drags Brighton in. There's 4 points now between them and bottom.
Wow. Hey, that's not ideal. Long way to go, though.
Oh, yeah, of course. But, if results stay the same, then Leicester are 2 points above the drop, Everton are 2 points above the drop, and Brighton are only 4 points above it.
Yeah. Which is crazy, because if you look at the performances of all those teams, I would not tell you that Brighton should be anywhere near that fight.
Nor Liverpool, though, to be fair.
That is true. Leicester, on the other hand, as much as they've done well defensively, it did feel at times, it has felt like the way they are playing, you can't really expect to get away with forever.
No.
Like, credit to Rick Passmore for the work he's done when he was the interim. I'm a bit surprised they brought him in as a permanent manager, because while he can set up defensively, put 11 players behind the ball, that is not sustainable, and I think that's what they're now feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I think the way they're playing wasn't really sustainable for results. I don't think
Mm.
they've got the quality. So, but I think we knew that
But
from the start of the season. Really, they've done well to pick up the points they have. Liverpool in behind. It's Olsen bearing in on goal. Minami gets back in there and blocks the shot. And that really should have been a better, I think, from Olsen.
yeah, good recovery from an army, but I think Olsen's got him more direct there. Great balls at Holland, just lifts it in behind. Really good knock. But
So
Olsen
if I'd
there,
have get there and then
that touch has got him more
yeah,
aggressive. That first touch was too safe.
she's got to come across Minami, take her out of the
Yeah.
equation immediately. Because then she either fouls you or lets you go, and
Yeah.
you're in.
Is Mouchon playing for Leicester? Or is she going to be subbed on a score in a minute?
They do, yeah. Mouchon started
Oh.
alongside Hannah Kane and Erik Stottin. No start
Frantala.
for Jutta Rantzala.
Great.
Ball into the box, punched away. Holland, Shimizu from range. Not a bad shot. Playing well by Anna Dozin. She wants to get this ball released quickly. And there hasn't really. And then it's cleared back to Liverpool.
I have to say, Liverpool's efforts from range today have been brilliant.
Yeah, it's one of those where on one hand they've not been too, they are testing from range, but equally, then there's low chance of it going in from there.
True.
As good as the technique has been, could they try and pass their way out of those situations? Capox. Nagano. Holland. Again looks to play it in behind. One back though by Brighton. Hayes. Now ruled. Here is Minami. Ball to the left hand side. Cut out well by Risa Shimizu.
If I'm Gareth Taylor right now, I've got all the games in the back of my mind are all the games this season where Liverpool have been in this position and then come away with nothing.
Yeah.
Because while they can't get that second goal, it just feels like they've got to be careful. Are Brighton going to find an equaliser? Are Liverpool
come forwards now? Ola Slagers tries to break through the lines. Cut out well by Grace Fisk.
This is where they've got to go. This is where they've got to be quicker. Is that the Fisk is kind of out there and they're just slow it down. I get they're trying to control the game. They want to keep possession and not take any risks. But as I say, with it only being 1-0, I think you've got to keep just being aggressive. Keep being positive. Look to get a second goal. Because they'll get more opportunities to kill this game off. They've got to take them when they can.
Kirby looking for Holland. What about by Ola Slagers? Capox. Tries to play it forwards, looking for the run of Kerry Holland. Will be one back low again by McLaughlin. They've swapped McLaughlin and Ola Slagers now, so which is interesting. Hayes. Enadozi.
I mean, I don't think either of them have really touched the ball in this game.
No, I don't think it really works. Ola Slagers not really being given any attacking licence. McLaughlin playing on the wrong side, and she's not going to cut in and wrap her right foot around it into the top corner, is she?
No.
So it's just a bit of an odd decision. Ball out to the right hand side. Here is Rule. Nice give and go with Seike now to slip it in behind. Surely they've got to be thinking about Kafaji now.
Yeah. Brighton have got to change something.
Here comes Holland. Back now to Shimizu. Holland. Back to Shimizu. Now Clark. Fisk. Pass down the line. Lovely give and go on the left-hand side. One back well by Brighton is Hayes. Simmons. Now Minami. Simmons, Minami. Just to carry that ball forwards. One back out the pitch, and now here come Liverpool. Shimizu. Clark. Fake Kirby out to the right hand side. Holland gets the flick on. Only as far though as Minami. Ola Slagers. Back now to Caitlin Hayes. Ball forward cut out well by Shimizu. Let's turn from Holland. Nagano round the corner. On back though by Minami. Holland launches it forwards. And now Hayes. Olis Lagers. And that's out for a Brighton throw.
I have to say, Liverpool, it's the intensity, the work, not intensity with the ball. I think off the ball's been brilliant. The second balls have been superb, and they've done very well at, when either turning it over or if they lose the ball, they then win it back immediately.
And now there is a double change, and it is Rosa Kafaji and a return to action for Madison Haley.
Here we go then. This is the big test of Liverpool. Two very dangerous players, and what a very, very positive sight this is for Brighton to see Haley return to the pitch. Very, very dangerous player.
And that is Carla Camacho off and McLaughlin off. So you would assume that will be Seike up front. And then Haley on the right, Kafaji on the left?
Yes. Well, it looks like...
You would assume
looks
wrong.
like Haley on the left and Kafaji on the right. It's going to be interesting though. Two very dangerous players, and Brighton need them to deliver.
Out wide now then. Here is Holland. Clips it into the box. Past everyone though. I think that's important, getting Seike through the middle.
Yeah. Again, we know how dangerous she can be. Her and Kirby were really, really good towards the end of that Man United game, both finding the score sheet. So if Brighton can get those players on the ball, then they could cause some problems, could find an equaliser.
And well, speaking of equalisers in the game between London City and Tottenham, it's London City 2, Tottenham 2.
Is it Katinka Tambo again?
It was a free kick from Evelina Summonen.
Oh,
no. Indeed.
Oh, Brighton again giving it away.
Olsen holds it up well. Tries to knock out to the right hand side. One back well though by Olis Slagers. Yeah, free kick won by Matilda Turnberg. Matilda Vinberg, sorry.
That'd be a brilliant player.
And then slapped home by Summonen on the free kick. Very good free kick taker, Evelina Summonen. Just getting fouled for free kick counts and assists on Aeropax. It should. Just for today.
Oh my days. I've just seen the Shakira Martinez goal. She sits down on the football and it goes in at the near post. Oh dear. Not good enough for an for that.
Out to left hand side. Haley can't quite bring it under her control. Banger from someone says HB. As Shell and Nigel Shell asks, are we doing the Everton game? Yes, we are. Stream page is up already on the channel. So if you want to briefly head over there, click the notifications and then join us there afterwards, feel free to do so. We'll be live about 15-20 minutes after the conclusion of this stream. I don't know what it's set to. Is it 15:15 or 20
Yeah, it is 15:15. Yeah.
Awesome.
Big 25 minutes this for both sides. We spoke about how the table would shape up if the results stayed the same, and Brighton do not want to be in that situation.
Not back by Woodham. Can Liverpool find a second goal? I still feel like they need it.
Yeah, but it's one of those where even though, because Brighton really have not come forward in this second half. They really haven't. They really haven't threatened at all.
No, they should have.
But it's that kind of game where all it takes is one chance for someone like a Fran Kirby or a Haley to find the back of the net. Oh, what a hit that was from Summonen. Absolutely brilliant.
Missed it again. When I was watching on multi-view, then I wouldn't be able to see any of the game.
Yeah.
Olis Lagers. Hayes. Now Olis Lagers. That's out for a Liverpool goal kick.
Yes, it just looks so lacklustre from Brighton in the second half. They haven't conceded, and again, it's that problem, it's that balance they've found, because they have shored up. They've looked more defensively solid, but then they've had nothing going forwards.
Brighton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've had one shot in the second half, yet to put one on target.
Yeah.
You don't score that way.
No. Simple as that. Not good enough. I think what's clashing here is probably Brighton's worst performance of the season with Liverpool's best.
Yeah, but it's also been that sort of we've got that meeting point because Brighton started well and just kept getting a little bit worse, and Liverpool started quite badly and just kept getting a little bit better. So if we think about it as a graph, they've met.
Yeah.
And now what's going to happen? Are they both going to continue on the same path, or will other things happen?
Who knows?
We don't know. Kafaji, Kirby, down the line looking for Rule.
Brilliant.
Clipped out. But that will be a Brighton corner now. Good work from Woodham. She has been caught there as well. Just a bit of cramp, I think. No, she's fine. She's running. Immediately. Absolutely fine.
Right, it's got to be a good delivery this from Oleslarger's. Got to put pressure on the Liverpool penalty area. Get a shot away. Someone's got to have a shot from this corner.
Of course, a standard football procedure looking likely. Brighton have been abysmal, so 1-1 is probably coming. Yeah. Could be true.
Story of Liverpool's season. And it'll be more points dropped from a winning position. I think they're on 9.
Ball into the box. Headed away. Kirby. Oleslarger's. Ball into the area. Chance now for Haley. Big stop again from Faye Kirby. Now Oleslarger's to the edge. Struck by Simmons. And not struck particularly well. And that's miles over the bar.
Well, someone got a shot away. I said someone had to get a shot away from that corner, and Haley did. Tight angle. But already, Madison Hayes on the pitch 5 minutes, and she's had a shot. That's the kind of player she is. Really good first touch. Bounces up nicely to hit it on the volley. And she
does well to not only bring it under her control, but also do it in a way that opened it up for a shot.
Yeah.
Poor playing out from the back. Nagano's been caught. Kirby, well, can't even score. Hits the bar with her effort. And the ref is not happy.
Yeah, gave a free kick.
Kirby had a shot anyway. But what was happening here? Well, Faye Kirby, with the mistake. Nagano tried to make up for it. Did well there to get a body in the way. And that, not so good from Faye Kirby.
No. Who's had a brilliant performance today. It has to be said.
Would be a shame now if she ruined it by trying to do something like that.
Passing it to Kike Sege.
Kirby launches it forwards. Headed towards Shimizu. Now Oleslarger's. One back by Nagano. And that is launched forwards. And out for a Brighton throw. Oleslarger's. Back now to Seike. Oleslarger's again. Across into Hayes. And now it's Seike. Now Manai. And Nadozi. Into Rule. Kirby. Good hold up. Rule. Here's Kankovic. Oleslarger's. Oh, lovely movement from the ref there to assist that one. Getting out of the way of the ball. Here's Kafaji. Has options either side. Pokes it wide. Chance for Brighton. Oh, brilliant block off the line from Shimizu. Goal denying block. Frank Kirby squeezed her effort on target. And that really should have been 1-1. Too easy. Brighton playing through the Liverpool side. Great overlapping run there of Kankovic. Cuts it back. Kirby should score, must score. Shimizu with a crucial intervention.
Wow. Shows how this game could change in an instant.
Minami from range over the bar.
What a chance for Brighton. And suddenly they've woken up. The subs have made the difference. Kafaji and Haley have got on this football pitch and they're making things happen. Again, superb defending from Shimizu. Brilliant. And just that reminder that if Liverpool are going to win this football game, they are going to have to work very hard for it.
Yeah, indeed.
Kirby should do better. Got to draw. She's done. To be fair, she's gone for placement and she's looked to try and find the far corner.
She's placed it well past Kirby.
Yeah. She'd beaten everyone bar Risa Shimizu.
Haley. Now Parks, and that's deemed too aggressive from Nagano, catching Madison Haley. And she'll pick up a yellow card. I think that's a little harsh. That's one where the next player that commits a foul is going to get booked.
Yeah.
And we don't really know why. That's arguably a clean tackle.
Yeah. I think she catches Haley a little bit, but yeah, she's unlucky there for Nagano. Been a weird performance from her because she still looked pretty good despite constantly falling over.
Trying to give Brighton a go.
Yeah.
Kankovic. Which, is arguably more impressive that she still looked good. Kankovic. Flash play inside. Kafaji can't quite control it. Nagano just clearing her lines. 20 minutes to go. And now here come Liverpool. Olsen will strike from range with Enadozie off her line, but that's not on target. And Enadozie would have got there anyway.
Audacious, to say the least, from Olsen. She's found a couple of goals and now her tail's up, I think.
Yeah, no, she's going to hit it from everywhere.
Fancies herself from 50 yards. Be a real test now of Liverpool's strength and mettle. Shimizu's been
that from Haley, and she's dragged down by Shimizu, and I think she'll go in the book as well.
Yeah, Shimizu will have no complaints about that one. Was not going to allow Madison Haley to spin her in that situation. And again, this is what I love when this happens in football, where we have, 1-2 cards for 60, 70 minutes, and then suddenly we get loads in the last 20 minutes of the game. But Liverpool are going to try anything they can to make sure they hold on to this 1-0 victory.
Minami. Hayes. Here's Kafaji. They're going to switch the play now into Haley. Kankovic. Looking for Haley. Brilliant. From Holland. That'll be a Brighton throw. Haley. Kankovic. Now Haley. And the ref has now stopped the game for an injury. She should have stopped the game before the throw. She then shouldn't have stopped the game once she allowed play to continue.
Holland pushed over. I'm not quite sure what she's hurt or what the problem is. Just pushed over and looked pretty innocuous, really. Wasn't a foul.
Yeah.
So there wasn't nothing wrong with it. She doesn't seem to be holding anything. She's
tired.
I'd say she looks more out of breath. Yeah, big 16 minutes now. Let's see what Liverpool can produce, keep coming up with, if Brighton can find something.
Crash out for London City, says Nigel, not given. There's a mad scramble. Slagers. I don't think you could have that London City Tottenham game without there being a penalty at both ends.
Yeah,
seems only fair with the rate that those two sides give away penalties.
So many penalties given away for London City this season.
But it's, as I say, 4 now, which is level with Tottenham from last season in a full campaign.
Yeah.
To keep it at their current rate, London City, they're going to end up on about, trying to do the maths quickly, 16?
Something like that.
Stupid.
Yeah. I don't think they will give away that many. But
not 16, like 12. 12 penalties.
Yeah, still not great. They do that.
Not ideal.
That'd be one for every team.
No, mate. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Including themselves.
Yeah. Haley. Slagers. There's a goal now in London City versus Tottenham's London City line. This is 3.
Wow.
Tottenham 2.
What a game.
Big goal in that match. And Nigel says it's an own goal off a set piece. Disappointing way to concede for Tottenham. Amanda Nelden, the player that has scored that own goal.
Tottenham are either like they're going to get into the Champions League or they just go back to being Tottenham.
Well, to be fair, I think the season have been excellent throughout. This is their first slip up. Oh, could be.
Well, the Man City game was horrendous.
Yeah, no, yeah, they lost to City and Chelsea. But, the 5 wins against sides they should have beaten.
But I say, London City now taking the lead there for the 3rd time.
This is a loss against a side they shouldn't be losing to.
No. And again, London City are somehow winning.
Kafaji. Now Seike. Well, yeah, London City have been terrible at the back, and they've just found a way to get goals. But, I mean, 1 big chance then, they've scored 3.
Basically, they've got Nikita Paris and an own goal.
Yeah. And Godfrey's scramble from a corner. But, yeah.
I have to say, Brighton don't look like a side who need an equaliser in 13 minutes.
No, there is a lack of urgency, isn't
yeah.
it? I mean, they made those attacking changes and they've looked a bit better coming forwards, but it's not been, like, revolutionary.
No. Momentum has shifted, definitely. Brighton are now probably the ones on the ball more and playing the better football, but they're not really threatening Liverpool too much at the moment.
Yeah.
Again, it's now Liverpool are just sitting in and looking to absorb some pressure.
Yeah, this is changes for both sides, and it's Leanne Kiernan on for Peter Olsen. A really good performance today from the Liverpool forward. Now Kiernan on, just to be a bit of a handful up there, give them something else to think about. And I think it was Melis Mpome. It is indeed. For Brighton back after her head injury against Arsenal. And she is on for Caitlin Hayes.
I don't understand that change.
Well, you need a goal, changing a defender. I guess it's just a sub, but yeah,
it's a pointless sub.
I think the only point to it is getting the rest in for. Oh, sorry, yeah, resting Hayes, I guess, and getting them pull back to fitness.
True.
Yeah, in terms of today's game.
And to be fair, how many other players they got available?
Not many. Another goal for London City, according to 9J. 4-2. Got through the corner into the bottom, with a curler into the bottom corner.
Wow. What a game. 6-goal thriller over there. While the relegation candidates are both currently holding on to 1-0 victories.
Indeed.
McLean on for Holland as well.
Other options could have brought on Sonoda, which I don't think has played WSL yet. Nordam, Auer, Venegas, Caravalli.
So what's happened? Capox has gone out to the right hand side and then McLean's gone into the 10. So it was more of a,
Yeah. Okay, their Kieran's obviously up front.
Again, they've got to go direct to Kieran, use her, get the ball into her. Get her to hold it up and just take pressure off yourselves. That'll be the exact plan. We're putting Kiernan on there.
Good hold up now from Leanne Kiernan. Back out wide into Enderby. Kerr. Woodham. Into Fisk. Kiernan. Nagano. Kiernan. Grace Fisk. Woodham down the line. And that will roll out for a Brighton goal kick.
Liverpool did very, very well there until they then forced it. They've just got to keep hold of the ball. Just recycle possession. Make it difficult for Brighton to get anything on the ball or to come at you. Oh, what a goal from Freya Godfrey, by the way. For that 4th. Brilliant finish. Liverpool just got to get the basics right now. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't let Brighton back into this. Big 10 minutes for their season. For both sides season, really. Brighton do not want to be in a position where after 8 games played, they've lost their last 4.
Yeah.
That's why football's a funny game, because after 4 games, they're in a brilliant position, and then another 4, and they could be in a really bad position.
Rebecca Nack, by the way, makes a start for Manchester City.
Wow.
Obviously with Greenwood out, how important could that be? And how quickly would everyone put her in their aerial fantasy teams because she just scores every time from every corner.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember what's that. I think Everton won't be able to clear the ball for a corner.
Corner again. Ball in. Forwards. Headed away. Nagano. Now Liverpool looking to come forwards. Clark. Here is Fuka Nagano. Resists the press well. Back to Clark. Now Fisk. Nagano. Great turn. Kerr. Plays it into Enderby. Now Kiernan. Down the line, looking for Lily Woodham. Enderby.
Really good for
now
me.
Shimizu. Need a goal though to cap it off, really.
Yeah.
Fox.
Subs are giving them life though.
Back to Clark. Capox. Tidy footwork. Nagano. Into Shimizu. Who can now play it in behind. Looking for Leanne Kiernan. Tries to get a shot away. Wins outside a corner. Don't mind that at all from Kiernan.
Brilliant tackle from Simmons. But yeah, great ball from Shimizu. Really good run from Kiernan. That's exactly why she's on there. Make that run beyond. Be that hold-up player. Make things difficult for the Brighton backline. But yeah, that triple change for Liverpool has just brought a bit of life into this game. Had to get, a bit of a response, a bit of a fight back to the Brighton subs. And as you say, they can get that second goal now. That would surely just kill this game off and see it through. Again, got to be a good delivery. Got to be careful with corners like this. The last thing they want to do is give the ball away and see Brighton rushing towards their own net.
Ball in from Woodham. In towards the area. Headed away. And now Kirby hooks one clear. And they'll let it go out of play. Liverpool not in a rush. Kirby's quick to go and get a ball for Liverpool. Try and speed them up. And here is Shimizu. Looking for the forward option. One back well by Simmons. One high by Nagano. Here come Liverpool. Shimizu. Nagano. Shimizu. McLean. Enderby. McLean. Kiernan. Wide. Into the side netting. Lovely move though.
Superb football from Liverpool. 1-2 touch stuff down the right hand side. Nagano, McLean, Capox all popping it in and out to each other. McLean lays it into Kiernan, who probably does the right thing there, gets the shot off early, but just finds the side netting. But really good football from Liverpool, looking for a goal.
Driving it forwards. Plays it now into Seiko. Can't quite hold up the ball. Fuka Nagano. Woodham. Nagano. Now to Clark. That's headed away by Olis Lagers. Rule. Now on Pomey. It's Olis Lagers. Minami. On Pomey. Simmons. Knocks out to the right hand side. It's Kafaji, it's one back, and here come Liverpool. Ball played in behind, looking for Leanne Kiernan. Minami. Simmons. And Pomey. Ball now in behind, looking again for the runner Kirby. And she's going to get the wrong side of Grace Fisk. And she's been caught in there think Fisk a little fortunate to get away with that one.
Yeah, Kirby definitely feeling the end of that. But yeah, I think Fisk got it slightly wrong. Kirby will be frustrated, but Brighton still pushing.
Nagano. Out to the right-hand side. Here comes Kapox. Well, the Slagers will get there. Back now to Enadozi. Not great that from Minami. Will work hard to try and get there. Blocked well by end to be out of play. For a Brighton throw. Ball down the line. Kafaji. Flick on from Kirby. One back here by Liverpool. Nagano. Shimizu. Now Kiernan. Pomade does well. Gets it back to Enadozi. Olaslagers. Down the line into Haley. Here is Kirby. Let's go down the line. That is over hit and it will roll out of play for a Liverpool goal kick.
Liverpool happily watched that run away all evening. Brighton then rolling the dice one more time with 3 minutes to play. Another double change coming as they search for a very, very important equaliser.
So it's Charlie's Rule making way and Helena Kankovic on. Simmons making way, Rule making way, Venegas coming on for Rule, Nordam on for Simmons.
Again, they're changes, but they're not. I'm not sat there going, this is going to win them the game.
Yeah, it could counter Liverpool coming forwards a bit better. It's also, again, similar to Pomay. Venegas' return from injury. She's been out for a while. Kirby now picks up a yellow card for slowing the game down. Time wasting.
I think that's a bit harsh because they've literally just made subs.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure how that's on her.
Kirby launches it forwards. Great pressure there from Kiernan to win the ball back. Tries to put it across the box. That'll go through to Enadozi. Brighton have got to make it happen quicker.
Got to go to the corner there from Kiernan. Yeah. She knows she's the striker, so there's not going to be anyone in the box. You've got to look up there. Just gave the ball away for no reason. It was great knock forwards by Kirby. Picked up well by Kiernan, but just got the decision wrong.
So we tick down less than 90 seconds of normal time. Woodham. Here's Nagano. Kapox. Now she will take it to the corner, waiting for support. Shimizu flicks it over the top of everyone. Venegas will get there. Clears it up the line. Here's Nagano. All the way back now to Fisk. Clip it down the line. Shimizu looking for McLean. One back in there by Kankovic. Nordam. Olaslagers. Now Venegas. Minami. Venegas sends it long. Headed down by Shimizu. One back by Liverpool. It's Kiernan. McLean. Offside flag up there on Leanne Kiernan. Free kick for Brighton. They've got to make things happen. How long have they got to do it? Well, it's going to be another 5 minutes of additional time.
I was not expecting that many.
No.
I'm not really sure where they found 5 from, but Brighton will not care.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
I don't think we had 5 minutes worth of stoppages in the second half.
No. All out of play. Good hold up. Here's Nordam. Plays it through. Chance now for Kafaji. It's deemed a foul in there as Seike flicks it Saved anyway by Kirby.
I'll say the linesman on the far side was absolutely adamant with his waving his flag in the air over there. I'd like to see that one again.
Phil says Nagano play the match for me. I think Kirby in with a shout as well. I would say Shimizu for me. I think she's been excellent.
Yeah, I think Kirby's been superb, just based on her other performances this season. Olsen again played well. Kapox, so tidy. Yeah, all round just very strong from Liverpool.
Haley dragged down. Now Brighton with the free kick. There's a yellow card there.
These yellow cards are really starting to total up in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is Kanina Kapox puts up the yellow.
Is that Liverpool's fourth, fifth? Something like that.
Yeah, third or fourth, I think.
Not a bad ball. Again, the flick on. So the ball's just pumped into the box, flicked on, but straight into the arms of Kirby. He's going to take a time out this one.
Yeah, fourth. Forgot Kirby had one. And Faye Kirby has been given player of the match by Sky.
I think that's very fair. Been absolutely brilliant today.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is done very well.
Exactly the kind of performance she needed. Gareth Taylor clearly entrusts her to be the starting number one goalkeeper, and today she has just rewarded that.
Yeah. I'd give it to Shimizu personally. I think Kirby was excellent, but there was still, you know, if it wasn't for Shimizu making the block on the line, she would have conceded.
True.
You know, she also gave the ball away on one occasion. Got fortunate that it didn't result in a goal.
Yeah. As you can see now, that's going to look like a...
Nordam cuts it back. Kafaji is there, and it's Liverpool 1, Brighton 1. Rosa Kafaji draws them level. A big, big goal in the context of this campaign. Rosa Kafaji lashes it home. Brighton find the goal. Liverpool switch off, and the 3 points that should have been going the way of Liverpool ripped out of their clutches. Nordam cuts it back. Kafaji fires past Kirby, who should do better. And it's Liverpool 1, Brighton 1.
Absolutely nobody has picked up Rosa Kafaji there. And again, Liverpool in a winning position. And for the 4th time this season, they're going to go from taking 3 points home to it's only taking 1.
And there's still a minute to go. Mpome. Minami. Another ball still in touch.
I can't. Oh, wow. Liverpool 2 minutes away from their first win of the season. And for the first time, and now suddenly for the first time this season, if West Ham hold on with Leicester, Liverpool will be rock bottom.
Indeed.
How football, the narrative can shift.
Well, I said at the top of the show.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that Liverpool looked a lot closer to a point, I wouldn't be surprised if we finished today's games and somehow it was West Ham.
Wow.
And yeah, as Phil said earlier, 1-1. It's the kind of game where despite Brighton not playing well, they just find that goal. Nagano. Out to the right-hand side. Here is Kapox. McLean. Kapox. Haley. Tries to get it clear but can't. Nagano. Shimizu. Nagano. Just to play it in behind. That's what playing is by Anadozi. And that is full time here at St Helens. Liverpool 1, Brighton 1. A game where, despite Liverpool picking up their first point of the season, you can't help but feel that rather than relief, it will be frustration on the faces of these Liverpool players. They played incredibly well. They fought so hard, but a switch off at the death. And Brighton took full advantage. Kafaji with a big, important goal. And Liverpool now sit rock bottom of the Women's Super League.
Massive goal from Kafaji, saving Brighton in additional time. Big goal for her personally. And that is a huge relief for Brighton to stop the run of losses. But for Liverpool, how close are they going to get to winning a game this season? That is now 11 points dropped from winning positions in 7 games. They just can't hold on to a result.
Yeah.
Cannot hold on to a lead. 2 minutes away there from their first win of the season. And once again, they walk off that pitch still winless in the WSL.
Yeah, I'm a little bit lost. What to say on that? Liverpool played really well. They didn't get what they deserved from the game. They should have held on. They switched off. They've only really got themselves to blame. They didn't focus for the full 95. So despite a much improved performance, they've come away with just a point. And for now, West Ham still lead.
Wow.
I don't like leaving games when there's still a few minutes left in them, but we will be back in a few minutes, 15, 20 minutes. So look out for that. We'll be live for Manchester City, Everton shortly. Thanks everyone that's joining us for this morning's game, and we'll see you in a bit.